Let's begin with the 12th chapter from your economics book of grade 11, and the name of the chapter is The Problem of Poverty in India. First of all, we want to understand what is the meaning of the term poverty. Poverty doesn't mean always they are talking about the income. Other than that, the other facilities, the basic needs, or you can say the opportunity to develop, all these are getting calculated by UNDP, that is United Nations Development Program. Not only income, other than that, human poverty is also there according to UNDP. So human poverty means that we are not getting the proper opportunity to live. We are not having, you can say, no political stability, or maybe health facilities. Okay, all these are coming into consideration. So this chapter is not at all dealing with the human poverty. This chapter is dealing with the income poverty. And other than that, first and foremost thing is we need to understand is economic poverty. So economic poverty can be categorized into two categories. One is the absolute poverty and the other is the relative poverty. Absolute poverty means where the person is not able to even fulfill their basic needs. Okay, that is absolute poverty. And relative poverty means that person is poor, that person is earning, but earning very less. Okay, that is just above the relative poverty, is just little bit above the absolute poverty. So next we have to know about the vicious circle. This is what is included in your syllabus. So vicious circle of poverty. Vicious circle of poverty is explained by Nurksi, and here they are trying to explain this phenomenon. The vicious circle is such a circle from where a person once trapped inside cannot come out of that trap. Okay, suppose a person is not having enough money, or he is poor. If he is poor, he is not having enough money to earn, to means to get food, to buy food. As the person is not getting food, he is remaining empty stomach means he is not getting nutrition, and he is not getting energy. Again, with that poor health, he won't be able to work more. If he will not be able to work more, then he will not be able to earn more. So once again, with this poor health, he will earn less, he will eat less, again he will be unhealthy, and he will not be able to earn more, and he will become again remain in the same position. So from where he is starting, again he is coming back to the same position. So this is called a trap from where they are not able to come out. This is a vicious circle. You can see in your book there are three kinds of vicious circles shown here. Number one is trying to say us that the first such circle operates from the supply side of capital formation. Number one is saying us about the supply side of capital formation, and the second one is saying us from the demand side of capital formation. Okay, demand side. But you can see that they are having few common points like capital deficiency. First of all, they are underdeveloped. From underdeveloped, that person is going to low productivity, that means unable to produce more. From low productivity, he will earn less, that is low real income. As he will earn less, he will go to low demand or low saving, anything you can say. Okay, low demand or low saving. As low demand and low saving, he is not able to invest anything, so low investment. If there is low investment, that means that person is having again capital deficiency, that means he is not having enough capital, so again he is going back to underdevelopment. So from this circle, from both the circles we can say that you can see that they are having 4 points in common. So the person starting from underdevelopment, again going back to the underdevelopment, right? So it is a vicious circle, means it is a trap. And the third one is trying to explain us the underdeveloped country. Okay, it is trying to explain us that underdeveloped, in this circle we will find that it is underdeveloped human and natural resources. If it is an underdevelopment, that means underdeveloped resources. Where there is underdeveloped resources, we will find there is economical backwardness in the people. Economical backwardness means again we are going to underdevelopment. So from this circle, they are not able to come out. Okay, in order to come out from this, we will find that the Indian government had took a lot of upliftment program, lot of poverty alleviation programs like economic growth. Okay, up to fourth 5-year plan, we will find that they were always taking the emphasis how to develop the agricultural sector, how to develop and how to eradicate the poverty from India. They were using two important terms in the economic growth, we will find, that is filter or trickling down to the poor persons, and in the form of more employment and more income. Okay, expansion of agriculture took place. From this way, India was trying to eradicate the poverty. Next, in 1951, we will find the government opted for agriculture development. 1957, we will find the development of the cottage and small scale industry took place. Okay, then population growth was controlled. Then we will find land reform was done. Public distribution system means the distribution of food grains. Okay, this is PDS or public distribution system. That means through ration shop, the government is subsidizing the food grains and selling it or giving it out to the common people from the fair price shops. These are for the poor people. So again, we will find there are lots of yojana. Yojana means lots of programs, lots of plan made by the government and applied in India also. Poverty alleviation program was included in the fifth 5-year plan. In 1974 to 79, we will find this kind of program was done. Other than that, there are few special programs which we need to study. Okay, during 1970s, a number of special programs for the rural people were undertaken, like small farmers development agency, then marginal farmers of and agricultural laborers development agency. Okay, however, at the beginning we will find in the 1970 they were not at all helping or not at all attacking the rural poverty directly. They were basically subsidizing, helping with, as they were taking the loan, they were subsidizing, not totally helping. But later on in 1980s and 1990s, we will find that the government took initiative and directly attacked the poverty. Okay, directly attacked the poverty of the rural areas especially. So for this, a lot of changes happened and lot of development also occurred. Okay, these special poverty alleviation programs have been designed or reconstructed since 1999 and 2000. We will find lots of changes are there. So the first important program we are going to study is Jawahar Gram Samriddhi Yojana. This was introduced in April 1999 and it has two main aims. Okay, it was having two aims. One was to create the infrastructure in the village area, like the roads, like you can say lots of other facilities, then water supply, all these were getting developed. This was the first aim, 1999. And second was to create employment. Okay, and this was basically, you can say this program was applied in Gram Panchayat areas. Okay, number 2, Swarna Jayanti Gram Sarojgar Yojana. This was launched in 1st April 1999 and this was aiming to develop, you can say, employment within the people in the way of entrepreneur. They were aiming to develop entrepreneurs or you can say enterprises, promote enterprises in the village area through the help, that is self-help group. By making self-help group, this became very famous among the women. Okay, women became very interested in this kind of self-help group because government was giving them loan with a very low rate of interest. Next, number 3, employment assured scheme. Employment assured scheme was launched on 2nd October 1993 in 1778 rural backward blocks situated in drought prone desert and tribal and hilly areas. Okay, in order to give them employment, this was the main aim. Now the next one, number 4, is again important, Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana. What was the main objective? Its objective is to focus on village level development in 5 crucial areas: health, primary education, drinking water, house, and rural roads. This was the main aim, and this was great success. Next, number 5, Sampurna Gramin Rozgar Yojana, launched in September 2001. Okay, this provided wage employment along with food security to the rural areas under BPL people. For BPL means below poverty line people. Okay, and number 2 is to create durable community social and economic asset. That means again the same thing, the roads and parks, and you can say water supply, okay, health facilities, all these are coming. Next, number 6 is food and work program, launched in February 2001. The drought affected rural area in 150 most backward districts of the country. Under this scheme, wages are paid partly in kind, that is food grains, and partly in cash. That means as well as they are working, in return they are given the cash, along with it they are given the money also. Number 7, Krishi Shramik Suraksha Yojana. This was launched in July 2001. Its aim was to provide social security benefits to agricultural laborers in the age group of 18 to 60 years. Next one, number 8, is very important. Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, MGNREGA. I will say you this program, if you just walk by road, sometimes you will see there is a yellow color milestone, and on that there is written MGNREGA. Okay, this means the first thing in 2005 this was introduced in India with NREGA Act. Okay, and later on the name got changed to MGNREGA. Okay, before it was NREGA only, but Mahatma Gandhi, this part MG, got added later on in 2nd October 2009. And it aimed, what is the aim and objective of this program is to provide 100 days work, guaranteed 100 days work in a year to the below poverty line people, obviously. Number 9 is Prime Minister's Rozgar Yojana. This was launched on 2nd October 1993. It is a scheme aimed at helping educated unemployed youths to establish self-employment units in industry, service, and business sector. That means they were provided loan. Okay, they were provided loan by the government. Next, Swarno Jayanti Shahri Rozgar Yojana. Shahri means here they are trying to say us about the urban. Okay, National Urban Livelihood Mission. And before I forget, point number 8 and point number 9, please mark it as important. Okay, in this scheme, that is Swarno Jayanti Shahri Rozgar Yojana, National Urban Livelihood Mission, they are trying to operate since 1997, and its aim to provide gainful employment to the urban, unemployed, and underdeveloped poor BPL persons through setting up a self-employment venture. Okay, there lots of ventures were made. That means lots of programs were made in order to give employment. Next is National Social Assistance Program, that is introduced in 1995. National Old Age Pension Scheme, National Family Budget Scheme, National Maternity Benefit Scheme. Next one is Indira Awas Yojana. This is very important. It was one of the major, I will say, successful kind of a program in India to help the rural poor people, and this scheme constructed houses for the rural people. Okay, Next is Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. This is also the same thing again. It aims in providing houses for all the urban poor people. Okay. Next is Shiksha Sahayog Yojana. This was launched in 31st December 2001. It aims to provide educational scholarship, okay, of rupees 100 per month to the children of parents living below poverty line. Next is welfare scheme. Lots of welfare schemes have been introduced, that is Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana, then Pradhan Mantri Atal Pension Yojana, then there is Pradhan Mantri Kushal Vikas Yojana. Okay, lots of yojanas are there, lots of welfare schemes are there, but the most important one is this, that is welfare measures during COVID-19. This introduced ones of the this introduced one of the world's largest food grain distribution program, direct cash transfer to 42 crore individuals and more than 20 crore women Jan Dhan accounts, cash support to building and construction workers, additional pension payments, and free gas cylinder. Garib Kalyan Yojgar Abhiyan was launched on 28th June 2020 for the period of 125 days in 116 districts of 6 states to provide employment and livelihood for migrant workers who have returned to their village due to COVID-19 pandemic. And this is totally done by our NDA government, that is National Democratic Alliance government, that means the ruling party they are talking about here.